Welcome back to the Nerdcore podcast number 354. And we are here to kick off Christopher Nolan Month on the Nerdcore podcast, the podcast that reviews movies and talks that nerd shit. And as always, it is your nerdy Chicano here to host the show alongside my wonderful co host, Young Yoda.
Sup, everybody. Welcome to the show.
What's up, man? A little late than we usually start, but that's good. It's all good. And today we're live for everybody because we didn't get to do this on Mondays. So everybody gets it on time. Well, not on time, but like at the same time. But yeah, how are you doing, Brad?
I've had better days.
Yeah, just go ahead and put it out there. Brad's had better days.
I'll talk about it more on the live show. So because y'all have to tune in. But yeah, I've had better days than what today started out with. Oh, just me being dumb.
Yep. I mean, when I saw that picture, I didn't want to believe it, but I was like, wow. It looks like we got quite the story for the live show. So,
indubitably, yes.
Indubitably, my friend, yes. Hold on, I believe we have people on here. The boy who bites is here with us.
Boy who bites.
What's up, Texas Notification Squad? Thank you so much for Boy Who Bites. Yeah, Notification Squad, baby, for sure. But yes, we are here to go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and be kicking off Christopher Nolan Month, and we want to remind you all about the movies that we picked out for this week. So we picked out. I won the coin toss, so we're starting this week with Memento, and then we're going to go next week with Batman Begins. The following week we'll be doing Interstellar, and then the final week of Christopher Nolan Month will be devoted to The Dark Knight and Insomnia for the Patreon mini review. So I'm really excited. This is arguably one of the best modern directors of our time. I to be honest, I mean, until Denis really started to blow up, Nolan was the best director to me at the time, and Denis went ahead and stole that. Queen Weave is here too. Thank you for coming on my show. But yeah, Brad, I mean, first of all, we're doing this month. What review? Patreon mini pod, Boy Who Bites. So if you go and pledge to our Patreon at the $2 tier, you get an exclusive movie review every single month. There's one extra movie you guys get. So we say we end Nolan Month on this podcast with The Dark Knight, but actually we ended with Insomnia on the Patreon podcast, on the mini pod. So all that, of course, at www.patreon.com/thenerdcore at the $2 tier and above. But yeah. I misheard what? Oh, I misheard panties. I was like, all right. How do you?
Those are not on the Patreon, by the way.
Yeah, those are not on the Patreon. But yeah, I'm very, very excited to be covering this film because it's not his first one, but it is the one that really garnered that attention that you see that Nolan got. And then if you see this movie, you really do see some of the the layers that he kind of works inside of, like time, memory, space, and all that stuff. But
was this Guy Pearce's first big movie? Because I don't know. I mean, this is one of those movies where he looks kind of like Brad Pitt in a way.
He kind of does look like Brad Pitt in this movie. But Boy Who Bites, this is our main show. So we will be paying attention to chat, but we can't. We're not going to be responding as much as we do to it. So also just fair warning. We're going to be ignoring it a little bit unless you have something to say about the film. But if you wanna, what's it called? Go ahead and ask us if we wear panties. Friday would be the best time to ask that. But,
only edible.
But yeah. So
you can snack for later.
Hope you're doing well, Andrew. But yeah, I want to say this probably is Guy Pearce's first film, one of his first films. But it was really weird seeing him so young. Like,
yeah, it definitely.
I'll be learning. Yeah, I'll be learning. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, boy who bites. But about edible panties. But but
Artiste.
yeah, we appreciate you, boy who bites. Uh, they ignoring us, chat. No, no, no. We're not ignoring. We're just saying like what's it called. Once we get into the review, we actually have
I
to.
mean, I can totally ignore. I just got to put it to private chat and boom, ain't nothing there.
But yeah, I'm glad that you guys were able to drop by with us and hear us talk about this movie. So we're gonna go ahead and kick off Christopher Nolan month. And if you have never seen Memento, chances are that you might want to not listen to this because of spoilers. But if you do not care about spoilers, then we're gonna go ahead and get into this in a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I don't have my iPad plugged in because it's out of charge, so I guess I'll just do the laugh.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
All I gotta say about this whole month is you fucked up my Batman trilogy.
I know I fucked up your Batman.
You fucked up my Batman trilogy.
Well, Brad, will you let me? Because right now I have a lot of paragraphs to read.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. From our trusted source, Wikipedia, because where would we honestly be without our Wikipedia, right? Right, Brad?
I mean, we'd probably be on IMDb, but that's a whole nother story.
And I won't ignore you. And yeah. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. Memento is a 2000 American neo-noir psychological thriller film written and directed by Christopher Nolan and produced by Suzanne and Jennifer Todd. The film script was based on a pitch by Jonathan Nolan, who wrote the 2001 story Memento Mori from the concept, which was the concept was because Jonathan Nolan had a dream about this, and then he expanded that dream into a short story. Guy Pearce stars as the man who, as a result of an injury, has enter Brad
Where were you at?
anterograde
Interrogated?
anterograde amnesia.
No. Oh, what paragraph are you on?
Right here, and has anterograde amnesia.
Yeah, Interrograde, not Gatorade.
Okay. Anterograde amnesia, the inability to form new memories.
Memories. What? No, sorry, memories.
And has short-term memory loss approximately every 15 minutes. He is searching for the people who attacked him and killed his wife, using an intricate system of Polaroid photographs and tattoos to track information he cannot remember. There should be they didn't just kill his wife, they raped and killed his wife. The film is presented as two different sequences of scenes interspersed during the film. A series in black and white that is shown chronologically, and a series of color sequences shown in reverse order, simulating to audiences the mental state of the protagonist. The two sequences meet at the end of the film, producing one complete and cohesive narrative. Memento premiered at the 57th Venice International Film Festival on September 5th, 2000, and was released in the United States in March 16, 2001. It was acclaimed by critics who praised its nonlinear narrative structure and motifs of memory, perception, grief, and self-deception, and earned $39.7 million over a $4.5 million budget. Hold on.
What?
$4.5 million budget, and you were able to make it look like that?
Well, I mean,
in 2000?
I mean, the settings weren't the most spectacular thing ever. You know, it wasn't. It was
sets.
I mean, it was on a discount motel.
Yeah, like I'm saying, it's like I'm just saying that you were able to get, like I'm thinking, because if he shot on color film and black and white film, because of course Nolan loves to shoot on film, dude, that's a lot. Like film costs a lot. And that's a lot. But also,
you think he shot the whole thing in black and white too, or because he did have black and white scenes?
Yeah, well, I think what he did is that he shot all on color and then he drip dyed it to make it black and white for the scenes he had to make black and white. Um, it received numerous accolades, including Oscar nominations for Best Original Screenplay and Best Film Editing. The film is now widely regarded as one of Nolan's finest works and one of the best films of the 2000s. In 2017, the United States Library of Congress deemed the film culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant and selected it for preservation in the National Film Registry.
Right up there with Clerks.
Right up there with Clerks, man. For sure. Ah, yes, neo-noir, not to get confused with... I too have the... I don't have dyslexia, boy who bites. I'm visually impaired, asshole.
Hey, now don't be calling our viewers assholes. That's how you lose them.
I'm just saying.
Jeez,
man. You ass.
I mean, you could have dyslexia. How's he supposed to know or not know?
No, but yeah, I'm just fun.
Or he or she, or I don't know.
What's it called? Boy who bites. I'm just fooling with you. But no, I am visually impaired. But yeah.
Yeah, if you see him headbutt his mic here and there, that's because
I'm trying
to find it.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. Trying to find the right position to put my head in. I have dyslexia too. Okay.
I am Spartacus. Spartacus.
All right, Brad. So I want to say this was my second time watching this film. I watched the first time for my history of film noir class when we discussed neo-noir. And I want to say the second time around, I'm still less confused. But I still say that this is quite the movie to make only the second time, dude. Like the second movie you ever make, and this is what you pull out. Like,
I mean, I think this is my second time watching it, but my first time was when I was like, I want to say 13 or 14. I just didn't get it, so I don't think I watched the whole thing. And then now, being in my 30s, I can like stand or sit there and watch a whole movie.
mm-hmm.
So this movie is actually not as confusing as a lot of people make it out to be. You're just going in reverse order. Like, you already see what he does at the end, but it's at the beginning he does it. And it just goes, all this movie is showing you is how he got to that point. And then all this movie's also showing you is he basically needs, because he can't remember who killed his wife. And apparently after he kills a person, he doesn't remember to write it down on him, that he's basically stuck in a loop of just murdering different guys with JG names.
Yeah. So I think this film is yes, I did watch it with Michelle. We watched it on our Discord because I said, fuck it. I mean, I have the file. I'm going to show it on Discord and watch it with whoever wants to come in and watch it with us. By the way, Boy Who Bites, if you ever want to watch movies with us, we do screenings pretty much every Wednesday or Tuesday or Wednesday. And I announce them prior to actually, having them play. So if you want to come in and watch with us, you're more than welcome to. And that goes for Andrew too. I want to say I think this film is, I agree, we are sort of living through his memories. Yeah, 100%.
Well, you are, yeah.
I feel like he could have went through with memory loss a lot better than tattoos. Yeah,
but that's the thing they were showing though, is he was talking about the dude. And this is the part I don't quite know. There's the guy that's tattooed on his hand, if he actually existed or if he was that guy.
Yeah,
because in the end there, we kind of went back and forth. But he said, like, the dude would put it on Post-it notes, but forget they put on Post-it notes and lose the Post-it notes, or the Post-it notes would get moved and he's kind of, fucked. But the tattoos are permanent.
Yeah,
like a notebook, like you saw how he was with his keys to his motel. He didn't know where the fuck they were when he woke up,
or like.
Or
Natalie,
even when he just...
Natalie could have easily grabbed the notebook, thrown it away, and 15 minutes later, he would have never noticed.
Yeah. And this is a really also weird short-term memory, because at first he makes it seem like he just goes to sleep and he wakes up without remembering anything. No, he just gets hit by it sometimes just in the middle of doing something, and he's just like, well, I guess I'll take a shower in this strange room.
I think to answer Michelle's question, I think it's more a basis of repetition there. As you were seeing, that his conditioning with Sammy was like, okay, what's it called? If you kept giving him, maybe it didn't work for Sammy, but it worked for him, and that he was able to know that he had, pictures, and everybody kind of kept reminding him that he had pictures in his pockets. So, you
And
know,
maybe it was just I mean, my routine always is I check keys, wallet,
Mhm.
phone. Make
Yeah,
sure I have all those. So that could be, like you said, a routine for him.
yeah. So I gotta say this is a one great score. Of course, he wouldn't this isn't scored by Hans Zimmer. You haven't really gotten into like Nolan working with his main people like Zimmer, Hoyte van Hoytema, Fabian Wagner, but it's still really interesting how he works with memory and time. It's also really odd how the whole beginning of the movie with the gun coming back to his hand and all that, and that's kind of what's going to be happening in Tenet in a way. It kind of reminds you of the Black Mirror episodes with the brothers who alternate days and leave videos to remind each other of what happened when they were in control. Yeah, it kind of
Yeah, in a
reminds me
way.
of that
Yeah.
too. Yeah. Oh, I haven't seen that one. Uh what's it called? I think as a Black Mirror episode, at least I'll have to check and let you know. But I think it's a Black Mirror episode. Yeah. Yeah, Andrew. It
I,
kind of does remind me of that though too. But
I and I gotta say, I think when I was 13 and 14 watching this, I wasn't a Tarantino fan at that time, so I never got into Tarantino.
yeah,
And once I got in Tarantino, I got used to time jumping.
yeah,
So after watching this, it was really easy to figure out he's just going back so
yeah.
far to before.
Also, I mean, I gotta say, of course, what's it called? Guy Pearce is great in this movie. But damn, Carrie Ann Moss, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Carrie Ann Moss does not.
What's the CSI actress who played his wife? That was weird to see. I'm like, that's the CSI girl.
I can't remember her name, but what's it called? Michelle thought that was Carrie Ann Moss still, and you're like, oh, Natalie is his wife. And I'm like, no, that's a
Well,
completely
and
different.
it's so funny because Carrie Ann Moss was totally playing him,
Yeah,
um, because he's the one who basically killed her boyfriend,
boyfriend.
husband, drug dealer, whatever, and yeah, that one where she basically says, "I can say your wife sucked dick, and you're not going to remember it 15 minutes later, and we're going to be the best of friends."
Yeah. Yeah, I was telling Raul, most people are not used to that time jumping, but once you get used to it, the story is easy to follow. I have a lot of people who, rightfully so, say that this movie is really confusing to watch, and really get down the time jumping. But then again, I saw a lot of people who watched 13 Reasons Why season one, and they said without the scar on one of the characters' head, they would have never noticed what time was present, what time was past.
Mm,
But you could have easily looked at the coloring of the movie, of the show,
yeah.
and you would have known that the past had a different type of grading to
I
it.
mean, you just got to keep in mind that every scene is basically happening before the other, and it's following backwards until you get to the very beginning.
Yeah. But also what I kind of asked, right? And I knew that this was the type of show we were gonna have, that we were really talking mostly about the plot and really not give a full on based review here, because this movie is really one that you kind of have to talk about what the hell did we just watch. But I'm kind of asking, since he kind of had been used by literally everybody,
Mm-hmm.
are some of those memories just memories that were created because people were telling them that this is what he was and this is what his life was like, and maybe he had interpreted it that way and made these memories up, like.
I think the long term, like him being an insurance
Mhm.
detective, I guess as he would put it, I think all that is true.
Yeah.
The one only confusing part is if he made up the one character, because he goes into on how his wife died, and that's because that she was getting insulin shots.
Yeah.
And then you have Teddy who says, no, your wife was the one who was diabetic. So that's where it gets a little iffy of,
Well, remember,
well,
this,
maybe.
this very much like Joker and Taxi Driver. Um, Guy Pearce is our reliable the narrator, and we don't know whether what the narrator is speaking on is the truth or not.
And it might be one of those things. That's where it gets a little iffy, because it's totally possible that he created this idea that his wife was killed, and created, in order to get through that, he tattooed that somebody killed her. And like I said, he's stuck in a loop, a routine of finding these men and avenging her, even though he might be the one who killed her.
Yeah. Yeah. And which you can see that he doesn't have, he does have kind of tendencies of getting violent with the people around him. You see him snapping a lot on Teddy, but more than likely, but more than ever, my mind goes to when he snaps on Carrie Ann Moss's character, Natalie, punches
Well,
her.
I don't even think it's that. I think the actual story is that the wife wanted to make sure this was a real thing and not just in his head.
Yeah.
And she was the one who was diabetic, and she was
Yeah.
testing him, and he ended up killing her, and he created two different characters in order to make it so in his mind it wasn't him.
Yeah. And you see, it's what Brad is saying could be true, and what I'm saying could be true as well. It's just like it's such an odd, what's it called? Trying an analysis of what
I think basically what you can say is true from this movie is that Teddy's dead, the drug dealer's dead. He's got a bunch of tattoos for sure. Dot is
still tied up in the room.
No, because they let him drive off somewhere.
Yeah.
Dot's somewhere.
By the way, did you read this question? Just read this question from Michelle, or was that kind of the whole explanation?
My opinion is, I think the one character that's tattooed on his hand, the one he says, "Remember this guy," Stephen Jenkins, is I think that's a made up character. I think that's actually him.
Sammy Jenkins.
Sammy Jenkins. Sorry. I think that's actually a made up character. I think that he used that in order to make it so he wasn't blaming himself for not remembering. I mean, because it's technically not, it wouldn't even be his fault because of his short-term memory loss. It would be on the wife, but at the same time, any husband is going to blame themselves because, it's their issue, and their issue ended up causing this. So he made these two fake characters.
I think that Sammy did exist, and that he used them as an excuse to kind of work the way that Sammy was worked on. And, which he was probably the one who ended up killing his wife.
Probably. I mean, and then he makes an elaborate story, because you saw how he could easily change it if he wanted to. Because when he wanted to kill Teddy at the very beginning, he knew if he just changed one thing, that would send him off. Because he's not dumb. I mean, he's like, okay, so Teddy, you used me, so we're going to go this route. Mm-hmm. And he basically made it so don't trust this guy, and that ended up leading to him trusting Carrie Ann Moss's character, and ends up killing Teddy because of it. So he manipulates himself in a way.
Yeah. No. What's it called? I kind of agree too, man. I think once again, I mean, this is just Nolan's, great direction, and what's it called? The editing here is pretty damn great too. Just the whole part where it just completely goes from black and white to color. It's just beautifully transitioned.
The only one who really knows the true story is Nolan.
Nolan and Jonathan Nolan. Yeah. Christopher and Jonathan Nolan, for sure. But I think that this is kind of what Nolan kind of went for when he kind of made this. He was like, yeah, I kind of want them to break their heads, because then I'm preparing them for Inception in like 2012 when I make in 2010 when I make that, and that's even more of a mind fuck.
I mean, and you go back to The Prestige, also a mind fuck.
Yeah.
So Nolan's kind of known for some really mind fucking movies.
Yeah, and you see
thank you to Jay Coop for the follow.
Oh, hold on, man, I didn't see that. Sorry. Thank you, Jay Coop. Jacob. Yeah, Jacob. Oh, Jacob. Yeah, I know who that is. Thank you, Jacob, for the follow, bro. That means a lot. Uh, Jacob, if you're in chat, let me know if you've ever seen Memento. I would really like to hear your thoughts on that. But yeah, dude, I gotta say that. What's it called? This is quite the movie to start with Nolan month with, because this is very early in his career. It's early with his style, but this is kind of where he kind of goes in and kind of develops that style in a way too.
I mean, it's a very well thought out movie for sure. It's
Yeah.
not my favorite from him. I mean,
No, no.
I gotta say, I even think The Prestige, I find more. Prestige is more well defined. I think it's a better written, better shot movie than this. But for being only a second movie, I mean, there's a reason Christopher Nolan is well known nowadays.
100%. I say I think this is in my top 5 from him, but it's not the best from him. I what's it called? My favorite is of course Interstellar, but you know that's two part.
I think Tony would disagree with you, but
Tony would disagree.
I don't have an opinion because I haven't watched it yet, so I'll get
Yeah.
to watch it for the first time coming up.
Yeah,
But it
yeah.
has Matthew McConaughey, so I'm gonna say I'm probably gonna like it.
Matthew McConaughey.
I mean, all right.
All right. But yeah, no, this was a great movie. I like that we start off with this, and I think that compared to his other work, I think that it's not as grand, it's not as full as this
Oh
is.
no, it's quite a low down, dirty kind of movie.
Yeah, it's not a huge scale film like Inception
Or even The
or
Prestige. The Prestige is like
Prestige.
huge.
Yeah,
Just
huge
the
in
sets
scale.
and everything. And the actors just
Even though it is high concept, this isn't really a grand film, but it does once again, show how you're able to work on a high concept with a very small budget.
mhm.
And I gotta say that this is definitely one that you guys have to watch, because I think it's really interesting, first of all, and I think that it's also kind of required, in a sense, to understand where Nolan's style does start, but also just because it is one of the best movies of the 2000s for sure. But we're gonna go ahead and go into the scoring here before we say goodbye. Brad, what do you want to score Memento?
Since this being the first film, my score may change at the end of this. Because, like I said, I've never seen Interstellar. I know The Dark Knight's going to be high on my list. I'm probably going to start off with like a 8.5 or 8.75.
Yeah.
But it can go higher. It won't go lower, but it has possibility of going higher as
Yeah.
the more I see from him.
Yeah. This is my second time watching this film. I've watched, well, not all of them. I've never seen Insomnia. I can say that the second time around, I was able to follow it a lot more, but I think that that's just, once again, it's just the genius of the man behind the camera, who's working on this with his crew, is that how he's able to kind of bring all of this together. I think that compared to his other work, this isn't like amazing. It's not the best work, but I think that it is one of his early masterpieces. And yeah, I'm gonna start off with a high score. I'm gonna go ahead and give Memento a 9.75 out of 10. This is a really damn good movie.
I mean, that's a little high in my opinion, just because I thought the pacing was slightly slow compared to his other movies, compared to The Prestige, compared to Inception, compared to The Dark Knight.
I thought the pacing was fine.
A little slow.
I was like, wow, like I don't remember it kind of taking me this kind of fast.
I mean, you're totally brought into the story, but there are some slow parts to it. But you're totally like just engrossed in the story, and
yeah, and you have like 5 different twists in here, man.
Well, and that's not. I mean, when you look at, because I bring up Tarantino because he's the only other one that I can really think that does or uses time jumps to the extent that Nolan does. I'm sure there's other directors, but only one I can think 100%. Of right now. Tarantino usually has an ending. This, you don't know the story. I mean, you make it, but this is a Nolan thing. Like you make up the story. I'm not finishing the story. It's like when Inception at the end, when he fucking does the top. It's like,
well, I mean,
it's whatever you guys think. I'm done.
I disagree though with the Batman Begins and Dark Knight. There is kind of an end. Interstellar definitely has an end, but with the movies where he seems to play a lot with his his interests, like memories, dreams.
Well, I was just saying Tarantino has an end. Like for all his movies, there's an end. For this one, there's no end. This one's and this one and like Inception. Well, you kind that's up to the viewer. Like I don't need to write an ending if I do this. Yeah. Fuck you guys.
Very Kubrick in a sense too. But yeah, no, I agree. But what's it called? I'm gonna stick with my 9.75, man. I think this movie's fucking fantastic. If you guys never watched it, you can go ahead and email me, and I'll go ahead and you can go ahead and message me. I'll send you the file. But yeah.
You know, it's on Amazon, and you can watch it free with ads.
Wait, it is?
Yeah.
Amazon?
Yeah, they have IMDb with it. You can watch it free with ads.
Okay, yeah. Michelle, if you're still here in the chat, what do you give score? What do you score Memento? I would like to know, but that is our review of Memento, and we'll be back on. Oh crap, we don't even know what we're doing for Saturday, right?
Are we doing no, that's
Saturday morning review, bro. So Thursday when we're recording.
I will make mine the Page Master.
Page Master, Jesus Christ, bro.
Damn right. I'm going with the Page Master. Yeah, see.
He gives it an 8.5 out of 10. All right. I said I was gonna choose something more lighthearted, and I'm gonna go ahead and go with The Girl Who Leapt Through Time. It's an anime film from Mamoru Hosoda, and also it just happens to be on my 75 films from Asia list.
That's a good movie. I've seen that before.
Yeah. You seen The Girl Who Leapt Through Time?
Yeah, that's a good movie.
All right.
All right, so are we doing a coin flip for this?
Page Master.
Damn right, Michelle.
Yes. All right, let's see. What are we going to be reviewing this week and then possibly next week? What did I go with last time?
You went with Tails last time.
No, I went with Head, so I'm going to go with the Head.
All right, don't believe me, but you went with Tails. It's Tails.
Yeah. All right, we're watching Page Master. God damn it, Brad.
I don't want to hear it. You killed my fucking trilogy I was going for.
Yeah, I know. I killed your trilogy. I didn't kill your trilogy. I killed the coin trilogy. The Girl Who Leapt Through Time. Leapt.
Roll likes heads.
Shut up.
Good one, Queen Weeb.
Yeah. All right. As always, this weekend this Saturday morning review will be Page Master, and then the following weekend will be The Girl Who Leapt Through Time. Either way, I should probably finish my reviews before I do The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, because that's another 75 from Asia review I need to do. But yes, I'm very, very excited to watch these movies. In a sense, we needed something lighthearted now after watching Son of Saul.
I mean, yeah, I think the Page Master and The Girl Who Leapt Through Time a little more lighthearted than other than Grave of the Fireflies. I don't think you're going to find a more depressing movie.
Yep. Yeah, Son of Saul, guys. Fine. Yeah, I'm so glad that you guys liked that review and you guys were listening to it, though. So thank you.
I think they just wanted to hear me cry.
I see. Yeah, they just wanted to hear us cry. But I want to say thank you all for joining us live here and listening to us and watching us review this. Thank you to the people who listen on the audio feeds. Excuse me. Thank you to the people who will watch this on YouTube. I'm sorry, I need to catch my breath because I just, I got the hiccups. But yes, you can follow us at thenerdcore.com and go and check out all that wonderful stuff on there about social media reviews and all that stuff. Character bios. Well, we kind of are characters, but so what's it called? Our member bios. So go ahead and check all that stuff out, and you can also find us. Well, you're gonna be able to find me tomorrow on the Cinema Condition. I invited good old friend Leah Burns to discuss Ari Aster's Hereditary in a very long, well, not very long-ish. Shut up, Brad. We call you out in it too, dude.
Fuck y'all. That movie sucks.
Nah, it doesn't suck. You just refuse this. You just refuse.
That movie fucking sucks. Y'all just
Nah,
y'all just like the mom screaming at people. That's about it.
Nah, dude. Shut up, dude. That movie doesn't suck.
That movie
You
sucks.
just refuse to think about it on a
I don't need to fucking think about it. It fucking sucks.
No, it doesn't, dude. It doesn't suck. You just don't want to think.
Let me kill the mentally disabled girl who apparently had demons in her or some shit.
Yeah, she also wasn't mentally disabled.
She was basically
She was just groomed by her grandma to be weird, but with kind of sociopathic tendencies. But I wouldn't call that mentally disabled. But whatever. I mean, you can go listen to that. I don't know what Brad's got going on next, but what's it called? You guys do know that you guys can give Brad topics for Unstructured, and that will actually make him make the show, right?
Maybe.
Yeah. Well, right now he kind of has his what's it called? Oh, my damn earphones. He has his hands full of whatever happened to his car. But that only happens on a live streamed episode of this main show where I just pulled out my cord. But
hands full, you say?
Yeah, hands free. We'll be live on Thursday for all our patrons as we discuss Page Master, and then on Friday we'll be here for our Nerdcore live show. So stand by for all that wonderful stuff. And as always, we want to go ahead and thank the people who follow us who are subscribed to us on Patreon. I want to give a huge shout out to our wonderful Oriana. Thank you for joining the Patreon at the $1 tier. You're awesome. We love you so much. Thank you for getting us just a step closer to our goals. You can go and be a patron of the show at www.patreon.com/nerdcore and check out all those wonderful tiers that we have there. We want to go ahead and give major thanks though to our producers, our associate producer Sarah, and then we have our executive producers Grayson Barker, who you can follow at Instagram at GraysonBarker98, and Warlord1Bar on Twitter. Also, Brad, where can you find Shane, our other executive producer?
You can follow our friend Shane at twitch.tv/xsrk or on Twitter at xsrk_.
And we also want to give huge shout outs to our writers. That is Tony and Bryce. You can find Bryce at BrownRice96 on Instagram and Twitter, or twitch.tv/BrownRice96. And as always, Tony can be found at Real Nerdy Dad on Twitter. Thank you to our producers and our writers. Thank you so much. And as always, you can go follow them all on there. They're wonderful people who are pledged to our tiers on our Patreon to be given the status of producer and writer. So, as always, it's been a wonderful time, and I'm really glad that we were able to do this today, because I would have been kind of disappointed if we couldn't have talked about it today. But tomorrow, make sure that you guys check out the Cinema Condition episode 23, or join Michelle and I for our Discord movie night as we screen Greta Gerwig's Little Women from 2019. And without further ado, Bradley, send them out.
Raro, being host as always. Thank you to all our listeners out there, all our Patreon supporters. We appreciate each and every one of you. Thank to all those following us on Twitch and YouTube, and also giving us topics to chat. And yeah, thank you, everybody. We hope you enjoyed this review of Memento, and hopefully you'll remember it. Young Yoda out.
Hopefully they do.
Hopefully.